Chat room. Oh, actually, I'm in there now.
All right, we are officially streaming, and I'll reset the loop back so it shouldn't be echoing.
No, everything sounds fine.
All right, good.
At least on this side. I don't know about the live stream.
All right, well, here we go.
Wait, Jesus.
Let me.
That might have been me. I didn't have the YouTube on mute, and I'm like, well, now it is echoing. I realized it wasn't muted. I'm listening back.
I'm letting everybody know we're here real quick.
But I know there's no echo.
Awesome. No echo.
Yep, nothing. All right, cool.
All right, well, here we go. We're about to record an episode, everybody. Are you ready? Are you ready for the episode? Well, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, no, I don't hear it.
Greetings, programs. We're here for another episode of the Nerd Cave Retro Show. My name is Jason Robbins, and that man over there is not Derek Diamond. That is the Nerd Cave Retro World Champion himself, Mr. Joey Image.
Good evening, sir. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but sir is what came out.
Yeah, I figured what better person to fill in for Derek when he's gone. Derek had a wedding to film tonight, and we both said the same thing. What insane person gets married on a Monday? But
yeah, I said that too. Who gets married on a Monday night? Like, wrestling's on. Come on.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, Joey is the perfect person to fill in for. This is our last episode of Wrestlemania Month here for April. And so did you enjoy the WrestleMania this year, Joey, or did you find it as kind of underwhelming as the majority of people did?
Parts of it were underwhelming. I mean, overall, I dug it, but it was. I don't know. I think a lot of fans online kind of predict or expect stuff like themselves, and then when it doesn't happen, they get mad about it.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, but that was only a thing in your head. Like, just because. Like if you think Mickey Mouse is going to show up and shoot John Cena with a BB gun, and then it doesn't happen, you can't complain that it didn't happen. It wasn't something that you were told was going to happen. You just made it up. I don't know. That part annoys me, but wrestling fans generally annoy me usually. So
well, I mean
that includes myself.
That happens to Star Wars fandom,
Yeah.
Marvel fandom. People have these canon things in their heads. When it doesn't go their way, they're just like, that sucks. Well,
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If you think it sucks, start writing. Make
Yes.
yourself a couple of scripts. Take them out to Hollywood. Get yourself a writing gig, maybe even a directing gig, and you can work your way up to writing your own Star Wars script. So instead of
I say
complaining
that a
about
lot.
it, do something
Yeah.
about it.
I say that a lot. Instead of just complaining, "Oh, Raw sucked this week," dude, go get trained and get signed, or go, I don't know, get trained to do the writing thing or whatever. I don't know how you do that, but there's plenty of WWE jobs online or on their website that is a foot in the door.
Yeah,
Go improve it if it's so terrible.
I look at it a lot like life as well. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of wrestling. If you want to go back and start from the beginning to watch every wrestling.
Oh, you mean in general? Yeah. I thought you meant like nightly.
Even like Marvel stuff, Star Wars stuff. Even if there is something bad that you don't like, and you're just like, that wasn't great, it just makes the other stuff better. It's like life.
Right,
sometimes
right.
you're down, sometimes you're up, but you got to have those down times to make the good times seem better.
Part of me feels like the wrestling fandom and the negative Nancy's in that crowd or community, I almost think like they're the worst fandom because our stuff is all live. So it's not like they're just online writing about this match sucked. They're in the crowd screaming like you effed up, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So it's almost like we're getting instant hate on the spot, as opposed to like hours later when they leave the movie theater and go home and write about it.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about the internet now is you get immediate
Yeah,
feedback.
everyone has access to it. That's the worst part of the internet.
Yeah.
Anybody can use it.
I still haven't watched all of night 2 for WrestleMania this month.
What are you waiting for? It's been over a week now.
I know. I haven't had time, man. It's been a crazy week. I've been still trying to buy a house, all that kind of stuff, man. You know, it's like it's crazy. Like every day is something new.
Look up here.
I know. I know. I can't afford anything anywhere. So
Otherwise, you'll be trapped down there forever.
Well, I look at it this way. I do intend on moving at some point, but I would rather be putting my money into something that when I do decide to leave, I can just sell it and make money.
That's
instead
true.
of just throwing all my money at some conglomerate, faceless, real estate company that wants to make me miserable here in my apartment. So I'm just ready to leave.
I hear you there, man.
They're always doing stupid stuff here, like always doing inspections and stuff like that. I'm like, why? Why do I need an inspection? What am I in the military or am I in prison?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. Everything's fine. Everything's working. Leave me alone.
But did you play anything this week?
You'll never guess what I played this past weekend.
Can I have 3 guesses?
Two don't count.
Yeah,
only
2
the
don't
first guess
count.
counts.
It's either going to be Days Gone Remaster, Days Gone Remaster, or the remaster of Days Gone. One of those.
Oh,
3.
I thought you were going to say or World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah, that too. But I figured.
That's all I played this week. It was Days Gone or World of Warcraft. I didn't have a lot of time though. I was in Lancaster Saturday for a wrestling show. So, and when I do the shows in Lancaster, it's like a 2.5 3 hour drive with traffic. This one took me 4 hours to get there, but so I usually leave around 11 a.m. So I don't get a lot of time anyway. But yeah, I definitely played because Friday the Days Gone remaster released, and Friday and Saturday was so 2019, 6 years since it came out.
Let me tell you something, everybody.
PS4.
This man loves Days Gone so much. I could feel his joy through the text messages on Friday. He let us know first thing in the morning. He's like, "Happy Days Gone Remastered Day."
Yeah, my first text to our group chat was "Happy Days Gone Remastered Day." I was so excited, dude. And like I know, so a lot of the stuff that they added is new to PlayStation, but I've been using like PC mods for the Steam version, and like most of the stuff they added, I've been able to do for a while. I almost think, like I know Warcraft does this, right? So someone will make an add-on or a plugin for WoW that'll make something happen that's not part of the what do you call it? The native game.
Yeah, the UI or whatever.
So So and I know Blizzard will see that and go, oh, a ton of people are using this add-on. Maybe we should just implement it into the native game. So I'm assuming that Sony Bend saw a bunch of the mods and said, that's a cool idea. Like, for example, they added the Growler into the game, which is like, if you're not familiar, it's like the Gatling gun, the giant mega machine gun. I call it the mega machine gun because it just looks cool and sounds cool. But that was only available in the original game in the challenge modes. It wasn't in the regular like story mode game or whatever. So now they added that. And that was the first PC mod I got was that. I was like, whoa, I can get the Growler in the regular game. It's amazing.
But Days Gone is a great game. Anybody out there that has never played it, please give it a try. How much is the remaster, Joey?
It's it's $50. If you already have the original, it's $10.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I would say go ahead and get the original. You could probably get it for super cheap right now.
Yeah, they do. It's so weird that I don't know if they like put the price back to what it was. I haven't looked, but it seems weird that you can get like the original for whatever it is. So it goes down to I've seen it as low as $4.99 on the PlayStation Store.
That's what I bought it for.
It's so weird that you could potentially buy it for $5 and then get the upgrade for $10, or you could just buy the upgraded version for $50.
Yeah,
who's doing that?
Rampage,
I mean, I love the game, and I'm not doing that.
Rampage said I played the tutorial. He's trolling you a little bit.
They have a tutorial?
I don't think they have a tutorial.
It's not really. It's like the first mission of the game when it teaches you how to use the controls and stuff like that. But some games will just show you like on screen, like left does this and up does that, or whatever. But this actually puts you through like Astrobot, like the original Astrobot's Playground.
Yeah.
it shows you this does this, and then you're actually playing a mission in the game to learn all that stuff.
Another game I wish they would remaster is Mad Max that came out for the PS4.
That was such a good game, dude. A PS5 remaster of Mad Max would be so. I never finished it, but that was such a good game.
Oh, I finished it. I finished it and I had like 20 cars in my garage. It was insane how much time and effort I put into that game. But that one's really good too, and probably it deserves a remaster because I just don't think it was promoted well when it came out, and I think people just missed it because they didn't know about it. So
I wonder how many copies that sold.
I don't know. It
I got it
been that
like
many.
I got it. I had heard so many good things about it, and I think Scott Johnson was talking about it. Like, oh, this game is so great. He's like obsessed with the movie, so he was talking about the game, and I was like, all right, I got to check it out. But it was still regular price. It went down to $12 the first time I saw it on sale, and I got it. And I played it a lot. Like, I only have so much time, and I usually use it on at least gaming time. I usually use it on WoW and Days Gone, but Mad Max slid right in there and like took over like the next couple months.
Yeah.
That's such a good game. It's so much fun. Just driving around in the car is fun too.
I'm looking here on VGCharts.com. It's supposed to tell you how many were sold, but I can't find where it's sold. How many units total?
Yeah.
One.
I wonder what it says for Days Gone.
Probably, I'm
assuming 9
if I'm
million.
not mistaken, it says 1.2 million. Legacy
For Days Gone?
No, for Mad Max.
Yeah.
Because it says the legacy sales history. It sold 0.05 in Japan, 0.38 North America, 0.59 in Europe, 0.19 in others, so a total of 1.2 million worldwide.
Yeah.
Which ain't bad, but it ain't great.
This says Days Gone total was 8.9 million.
See, that's
which is
a lot.
Yeah, that's what they've been saying for years. People are like, it didn't sell as much as Ghost of Tsushima, which sold 9 million, and Days Gone did 8.95 million.
And they're not getting a sequel, so thanks, Sony.
No, well, I told you why. We know why now, and thankfully somebody at I don't even know where that girl worked. Whoever made Until Dawn, that's what she worked on.
Yeah.
And she name dropped the person who was responsible, but I'm not going to say anything. I was sworn to secrecy. I was talking.
I know
to
you
my
knew
friend.
everything because you're friends with everybody there.
I was talking to my friend David about this yesterday. I was like, listen, when this first happened, I was sworn to secrecy about it. Like I told my wife. My wife says hello, by the way. She's over here somewhere. You can't see her because the background is blurred.
Tell her I say hello.
She says hello. The dog says hello. I don't understand why he's under the thing. But anyway, I was sworn to secrecy. I was told, look, this is between you and me, but this is what happened. And I initially just thought, like, maybe that's true, or maybe it's just like those guys blowing off steam because whatever. They weren't granted the sequel wasn't even not greenlit. They were already working on it. I think they just took it upon themselves to start working on it. Like, just not development stage, right? They weren't there yet. They were just at story and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to ask. Were they actively into development? Like, is there actual playable?
No, there's nothing. They didn't have like teams working on it or anything like that. They just had like story going on. So, but yeah, and then this came out like 2 days ago where this girl was like, why does this guy get so much pull in this company in comparison to everyone else?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's insane.
It's crazy.
And the quote that I heard was like that setting is so much similar to our game, which I'm not going to mention names or games, but that setting is so much similar to our game. We don't need a sequel of that. Why do we need another one? We have us, and then we have 2 or 3 sequels coming out. So I don't know, but I still don't really like that doctor, which I was happy to shoot him in that one game. But I will always love that series. And there was a new one on TV last night. I forgot all about it, which I probably just gave it away. But I still love that series. Just that guy, I'm not a giant fan of.
I was going to say,
just for that one reason, he could be the greatest guy in the world. I don't like him because of the Days Gone sequel thing.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Because I really like Days Gone. I would have loved to have played a sequel.
Yeah, it's kind of irrational of me to not to dislike them just for that reason. But that game is like such a I don't even know what the word is. It's such a big part of like me and my wife's relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, she fucking
Oh,
sorry,
that's all right. We got one.
She flipping came down the aisle to a song from the soundtrack. So it's like ingrained in me and her's like love story or whatever. So
Yeah.
this guy to say that game doesn't need a sequel because ours is so similar to it, or it's so similar to ours, really, because I don't know which came out first. I'm assuming, that one came out first because it was on PS3. So it was, that game's so similar to ours, we don't need another one of those. Let's just do my two sequels instead, or whatever, 3 sequels, whatever it was.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
Hopefully
maybe one day I'll
one
do
day.
a video about it.
Yeah, you should. You really should.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Like, John Garvin from Sony Bend told me this like 10 years or whatever, it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, wait a couple of years down the road when nobody will get in trouble for it. But
hey, I'm not the one that name dropped.
Yeah,
that
was her.
Doctor, so yeah.
If you kind of know what we're talking about, it's very easily findable online.
Yeah, I don't even think I talked to my wife about this. I came home, I forgot all about it on my way home yesterday, but I'll yap her ear off about it tonight, I'm sure.
But we got some news to jump into. You ready to jump into it?
Oh, I should open up the thing with the news.
Yes, you should. Here we go.
Okay, sorry.
Tonight's stories were provided to us by Mr. Armez Jackson, and I am the Rampage. And if you have a news story you'd like us to cover, send them to nerdcaveretro@gmail.com. And this first story is from AndroidAuthority.com. Odin 2 maker joins Retroid and Ambernick in stepping back from the U.S. market. The retro gaming handheld scene has had a rough few months, first with the elimination of the de minimis exemption, then skyrocketing tariffs, and now an all-out trade war standing between them and their favorite retro games. The latest blow comes from AYN, the maker of the powerful Odin 2 lineup of handhelds, which will stop shipments to the U.S. starting April 25th. They haven't officially announced a policy, but the news comes from a customer who then shared a message from, is it AYN or AIN? Customer support on the official
I was thinking
Discord.
AYN because it's all capitals. I have no idea.
The company is currently fulfilling orders from a successful Indiegogo campaign for the Odin 2 Portal, one of the best and most premium handhelds on the market. And they said it says here in this message, hello, the current plan is to ship to 25th, then pause for a week and try to choose a new channel for shipping after May 5th. Odin 2 Portal-based Indigo White Pro model are currently be shipping out soon, thanks. And that's the message or email that who was this? Was the customer that shared this email. So basically, these tariffs are wreaking havoc on the video, especially the retro gaming market, with all these different handhelds, and it's gonna get even uglier.
I still have credit on Sendico, which I know is not China, it's Japan, but I'm assuming it's gonna take a hit as well.
Yeah,
I only have $35 there, but it's like 5,000 yen. So I'll say it that way.
Yeah,
it's
but
a bigger
$35 on that will buy you like 18 Sega Genesis, like 25 Super Nintendos.
I got a working Super NES, Super NES, Super Famicom with the controllers, and I think it came with one game for $9.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
crazy.
I showed you the picture when I got it.
And I was like,
I love Sendico.
And the crazy thing is, like, all the Japanese people, like, in Japanese culture, they don't really get nostalgic for stuff. They're just kind of like, once they're done with it, they're done with it.
It's junk, yeah.
Yeah, you can go over there and you can order, Joey showed me the site. What's it called again?
Sendico?
Sendico.
Yeah, Sendico. That's the one that's where I got that Famicom from.
Yeah, and you can just order all kind of retro game stuff for super cheap. The only thing is it takes like 8 months to get here.
Yeah, that took me, I think I ordered it, I don't remember when I got it, but I think I had ordered it like a couple months before the end of the previous year, and it came in like February.
Yeah.
I think it was last year.
So I remember it took a few months for it to
the
come
cool
in
thing
for you.
about that site is that, like you said, they're not super nostalgic about stuff. So like, they use this thing for 5 minutes and okay, now it's junk.
Yeah.
And it literally you go on the website and the section is called junk, and it's just people's used retro stuff. I'm like, this is not junk, man. This is great stuff.
I remember Joey had sent me a text message with some pictures. He's like, I just put a bid on like 8 Sega Dreamcasts for like $8. I was like, what?
I didn't get them, but they have lots of it'll be like a lot of like whatever 10 Dreamcasts in a box, and it'll say untested junk, and it's like $14. I'm like, wow, that's insane. So even if they don't work, as long as I can power them on, I can get them to work.
Yeah,
I mean, and I can sell them.
If you get a lot of them, you can always compile them into like 2 or 3 working.
There's got to be one that works. Yeah, of course. And if you use the GDEMU thing that I have in mind with the what do you call it, the micro SD cards, those things sell for like $500-600, which is insane because the actual GDEMU mod used to be $500, and then clones came out. Like I got mine for $22.
Wow.
Like I'm not paying $500. The whole Dreamcast library probably doesn't worth that much right now.
Dude, you gave me the whole Dreamcast library on like 8 discs
on 2 SD cards. Yeah.
We can go and jump to the next story. You want to take this one on a whirl? Because we were both wondering, like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, never. This is from timeextension.com, which is another site I've never heard of, but I just bookmarked it. It says Broke Studio is releasing Pizza Pop on an NES cartridge for the first time ever next month. 2 other Jaleco reissues are yet to be announced. My favorite Jaleco game is City Connection, at least on NES. Yeah. I don't know what the hell Pizza Pop is.
I've never heard of it.
An update from last Monday. Broke Studios announced the first Jaleco title it will be re-releasing on cartridge will be the 92 Japan exclusive. Well, that explains that. Platformer Pizza Pop. According to the reveal on social media, the game will be available to order on May 6th via the company's homebrew factory. That's another reason why I'd never heard of it. It's homebrew and it's Japan exclusive.
Yeah, but how is it a homebrew if it's from Jaleco?
I don't know. Maybe
it's not. Like, are they still a publisher, or did somebody just buy the name Jaleco?
Is it Jaleco or Jaleco? I don't know how to say it. But
I always call it Jaleco.
I didn't even put that together. That's a really good point because they're releasing it, but yet you can only get it through their homebrew. I also don't know what their homebrew factory is. I know it's another. I guess it's their website.
Yeah, let me.
Or their store, maybe. Anyway, this will be the first time this title has ever been. Is it a store?
Yeah, it's the best place for all your homebrew video games. Latest pre-orders in progress. You got Chibi, Monster Brawl 4.
Wait, so you're right then. How does that make sense? If it's released by them, it's not homebrew. They're a commercial.
It's gotta be something along the lines of like, Atari got sold and bought and sold again and bought again. Yeah. It's not nowhere near the same company it was. It's probably the same thing with Jaleco. They probably went out of business back in the 90s or something, but somebody just kept, buying the trademark or whatever.
If you go to All Systems on the top and then scroll down to NES, there's 19 Super Tilt Bros. There's 19 NES games that are all I guess homebrew, but they look like legit. What do you call it? Legit games, legit releases.
I mean, they're boxes, cartridges. I mean, it's like Nintendo is back.
Yeah.
I want Tapeworm Disco Puzzle. What is this?
Wait, I missed that.
It's at the very bottom. It's a game called Tapeworm Disco Puzzle. It's a grid-based puzzle game where you play as a tapeworm, the local nightclub owner. It's your job to make sure the fleas enjoy themselves. You'll be helping them collect blood, play banging tunes, and get them to gigs on time. Play alone or with a friend.
I couldn't even take a sip while you're reading that because I didn't want to spit it out.
This actually looks kind of good.
I love that name, Tapeworm Disco Puzzle.
I know, I want a t-shirt of that.
I was just thinking, I want like a big poster of that. There's a YouTube link here too. It almost looks like Dig Dug. Just you play as a tapeworm.
There's one here called what is Twin Dragons? What is this?
That I've actually heard of. I've never played it, but I've heard of that.
I like the artwork for it.
Yeah,
it's almost like a Bubble Bobble, but with baby dragons.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna bookmark this page right now.
Yeah, I just did too.
All right, well, let's jump to the next story. This is from NintendoLife.com.
One real quick thing that I noticed: Pizza Pop is not even on that website yet.
Oh, it's not yet.
It's not even on there. Like you figure they might have a preview of it or something, but it's not even there.
Well, it's probably coming soon.
Yeah.
Let's see. From NintendoLife.com, Nintendo expands Switch Online's GBA library with a classic Fire Emblem. It was released today. When was this? This was last Tuesday. Nintendo has released a brand new update for Switch Online Game Boy Advance library. Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones has been added for expansion pack subscribers. Released on the GBA in 2005, it was the second series entry to launch in the West, and focuses on the siblings Erica and Ephraim in their quest to save the continent of Magvel from a demon. Yeah. So if you missed it back in the mid-noughts, you may have played it on 3DS as part of the Ambassador program for early adopters of that system. But it is now out on the GBA on the Switch Online if you haven't played it. Or if you have played it and you just want to go back.
Yeah, play it again. The last one from NintendoLife.com kind of piggybacks on what you were just talking about. Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack now boasts 300 playable titles. And by the way, the little thumbnail of the guy that wrote this article, I thought that was Derek.
Yeah, it does look like him.
Yeah. And on my screen, it's so small.
Well, here's the thing. They're boasting that they have 300 playable titles on the expansion pack, but when you really break it down and look at it, it's nothing. Because the Nintendo library itself is like 1,200 games.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo library is like 800 games. The N64 library is like 800 games. So when you add them all together and you've got like 5,000 games, or like 300 out of the 5,000 is like, why do we not have more?
It's like 1/18th.
Yeah. It's a percentage of what the game should be on there.
Wait, so NSO is what, Nintendo Switch Online?
Yeah.
Because there's an article right underneath here that says every NES, Super NES, N64, Genesis, Game Boy Advance, and GameCube game are available. Every single one is available. So it seems weird. Every retro game available with an NSO sub plus the expansion pack. So if every game is available, why are they boasting about only 300? Why don't they say
that's a misleading headline. This is just basically a guide of all those games for those systems that are available.
The way it's worded could be taken both ways.
Yeah, they worded it
here's
very
a list
bad.
of every game available, or just every game is available.
Yeah, no. Because if every game for those systems was available, it'd be like 20,000 games.
Yeah, and it would be like $200 a month.
Yeah.
Nintendo would make you... Actually, you'd have to buy a new Switch every month, probably.
For real.
All right, I see what you mean. I definitely read it as every game available. Not every game available, right?
But, I'm always been a Nintendo apologist. I love Nintendo, but I just feel they've gotten kind of anti-consumer the last couple of years, and I don't know, it kind of breaks my heart because they have all these games, this huge library of Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games. Why are they just not available? I mean, literally, I have every single Super Nintendo game on a thumb drive. Like, that's nothing. Why is that not available on the Switch Online store? I'll send Nintendo my thumb drive. They can just plug it into a server and they'll be done with it. I mean, seriously, what are they doing over there?
You could probably put the whole NES and Super NES library on one.
It's like, I think the entire NES library is like 500 megs.
It's only megabytes. Yeah, it's not even a gigabyte.
It's not even a gig.
That's so funny. I'll just send them my...
Yeah.
Here's something that I always wondered about Nintendo. They could have made more money if they put more games on the classic on the classic system, because with the NES Classic, so I only put the US games on there, but it's the full library of US games. I have every US release for NES on my NES Classic. Why couldn't they have done that? Or even they would have made more money too if they did like separate editions where people are like, I have to
you
buy
know
all of them now to get everything.
how much
Or
money
allow downloads or something.
Nintendo would have made if they would have sent out not only just enough of the Nintendo minis,
Well, yeah, that would be the first step.
to make them able to hook up to the internet, and not even just to the internet, just to a Nintendo store. You hook it up to the internet. It hooks up to the Nintendo store. It comes with 50 games. You buy it with 50 games, but what if they would have done like an Apple model where it was like 99 cents a game for whatever else you wanted in the library? How much money did they leave on the table by not
Even if they weren't downloadable, if they did like $3 a month or $5 a month for the entire library, people would have paid that.
Yeah, exactly. I would have paid even $5 a month. I would have paid for that.
Yeah, and the Super NES Classic can fit everything. Actually, it doesn't fit everything with Super NES. You need a USB drive to do it, but the majority of them fit on the system. And then I have like an adapter with a USB drive for the rest of them, but. It's crazy. The NES, you could fit more than just the NES library. You could fit Genesis on there too, but I'm just a stickler for like, it's NES. I can't put Genesis games on it. It's like it's the same thing with the arcade cabinet I built. I'll only put arcade games on it. My buddy's like, oh, you could play Super Mario on that big screen. Nope, I'm not doing it. It's only arcade games.
Got to stay somewhat of a purist.
Right, exactly. That's about as far as it gets.
But we are done.
They would have made a lot of money if they did that.
Yeah, no kidding. But we're done for the news, and now we're going to go into this month in video game history. In April of 1993, Origin Systems released Strike Commander for MS-DOS. It was a pioneer on implementing 3D polygons and texture mapping in a flight simulation game by Chris Roberts, creator of the Wing Commander series and the notoriously crowd-funded Star Citizen.
Wait, did Star Citizen ever come out?
No.
Still hasn't come out?
It's been like 12 years.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I haven't even seen...
Yeah, it was announced in
Star
2012,
so long.
it's been 13 years.
Oh, my God.
And it's still not out.
I haven't seen the name Star Citizen written anywhere in ages, and this just reminded me, like, did it ever come out?
I hate to tell all you people that spent a ton of money on the Kickstarter, I don't think it's coming. I don't think it's coming.
Is there anything playable? Is there demos or anything?
No, not even like early access.
Like
nothing.
footage?
No.
Oh, my Lord.
Nothing.
What are they doing? What is this Chris Roberts guy doing?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. And how do you get away with that after so long?
I mean, I guess it's in the contract for Kickstarter that there isn't
we do whatever we want.
Or Indiegogo, whatever they did. I guess there's something in there that says like there's no guarantee you're gonna get what you.
I think there actually is in Kickstarter. I think there actually is, but no. No. I think the only way you get your money back is if it doesn't get funded. I think if it's fully funded, then you're required to get something. Maybe they're hoping to wait long enough till everyone that funded it dies, and then they don't have to pay any money.
13 years,
You don't have to give out any refunds. Yeah, somebody's gone by now.
But
that's insane. So April 7th, 1998, Mindscape and EA Electronic Arts released Warhammer Dark Omen for the original PlayStation. I remember that game. I haven't played that game in years, but that was really good.
I never played it. I'm sure
I like a lot of the Warhammer games.
Bethany's crazy for Warhammer. If you're into Warhammer stuff, just join the Discord. Our Discord manager, Bethany Fox, who was on the show last week, is a huge Warhammer fan and pretty much knows everything about it. So if you're into Warhammer, that's where you need to be.
There's a guy that you and I actually did a show about a couple years ago when he returned to his job at Blizzard, who is obsessed with Warhammer.
Yeah.
I mean, every time, like, I will talk to him and go, hey, Angela found a new retro gaming store we're going to check out. Her and I were in Oregon, not this past time, but the first time we went, and we found a game store that had a huge Warhammer section. I took pictures of all of it. I told him about it. He was like, dude, send me pictures. And I sent him pictures of, like, all the racks and stuff. There was, like, I mean, I can't even tell you how big. It was at least half a wall's worth of just paint alone. and then all the miniatures and like brushes with the Warhammer logos on it for painting the miniatures.
Dude, the people who get into Warhammer,
it's not just video game. I don't think
mini
people.
painting.
I think a lot of people don't realize that it's not just video games. It's everything, man. It's crazy. Like Metzen is so into that. I'm like, dude, I can't do all the paint. I've seen pictures of his little miniatures that he paints and stuff, and they look cool, but like, I don't have that kind of patience.
Dude, the people who get into like minifig painting and stuff, especially like Warhammer, like these people end up getting like divorced and stuff because they just like get obsessed with it.
Well, he is once.
Yeah. Let's see. April of 2000, Nintendo sells its 100 millionth Game Boy / Game Boy Color handheld game console. Just those alone have probably kept Nintendo afloat during their failures.
Yeah, and they've sold more than what, PS4 or whatever, the PS2, whatever the one is.
Dude, think of all the money Nintendo has made, not only from the original Nintendo. How many did that sell? Just an insane amount. The Game Boys, Game Boy Colors, all the Game Boy variations, and the Wii. Just those alone probably will keep Nintendo afloat for 100 years of failures moving forward.
My wife just found her original Game Boy Advance a couple of weeks ago.
Dude, my parents are actually going to be moving pretty soon, so we're going to empty out my mom and dad's house, and I'm hoping I find my original Game Boy in there somewhere.
Yeah, you're going to find a ton of stuff, I bet, right? Or did you take most of the stuff when you moved out?
Well, I know there's still a lot of stuff there, because my parents are kind of like, not hoarders, but they've been in that house since like 1983, so like there's just so much stuff piled up, like just hidden in like closets and the attic. Like God knows
you're gonna
what's
find
up in the
like
attic.
mint sealed CIB NES games, like mint.
Dude,
like, oh my lord!
I'm kind of hoping, because I know most of my stuff got destroyed in Hurricane Katrina, because I was the type of kid who would keep my boxes for Nintendo, Super Nintendo game. I kept all my boxes. When I played a game, I was that kid that would put it back into the box.
Yep.
I kept everything pristine. So most of my stuff got destroyed in Hurricane Katrina. And I'm hoping there might have been some things that lived through that.
Yeah.
So we'll find out in the next month or so.
Appropriately, I'm the spandex guy. So April 20th, 2000. This is our last one, by the way. April 20th, 2005. WWE WrestleMania 21 is released for the original Xbox in North America. I didn't get an original Xbox until like 2 years ago, so I've never actually played. I don't think I've ever played this. Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago, someone sent me one that he claimed was broken, and I got it, and it worked fine.
You know how I got my original Xbox? We were actually on tour with Three Doors Down at the time, and we were on a break, and I went over to the bass player. I'm not gonna say any names. So I went over to the bass player's house, and they were endorsed by Microsoft at the time. And so I went into his house, and he had this music room where he had a bunch of basses up on the wall and everything, and he literally had like 5 Xboxes over in the corner. And I was like, what are those? He's like, I don't know. Microsoft just sent them to me. You want one? I was like, yeah. So amazing. I just grabbed an Xbox and took it home that night.
I would never get rid of it.
I did way back in the day. I think I traded it in for an Xbox 360. You
should have had him sign it. The box.
It was Todd Harrell, everybody. I'm not bragging, but it was Todd Harrell. He used to be my boss when I was on Imprint Records. So, yeah. There's a long story there. I'll tell that story one day. Maybe on Open Micers or something. I don't know.
You should have had him sign the console in the box and sell it for millions.
I don't know. He's been in jail a few times. I don't think anybody's going to be paying
well, that makes it even more valuable. But jail time makes your autograph more valuable.
That's how I got my original Xbox. I never even paid for it. It just landed in my lap.
That's funny. Yeah, somebody that I used to talk to on Twitter sent me a DM one day, and he's like, "Hey, I have an OG Xbox and an original PlayStation 2. They're both broken. I plug them in. I can't get anything to happen. So do you want them?" And I never got the PS2, but I got the Xbox. Huh. I plugged it in, and do you ever see the orange ring on the original Xbox?
Probably. I don't remember. I don't think so.
It just means that you don't have an AV cable plugged in. So I literally plugged in all he had was the power cable. So I bought an AV cable off of Amazon, plugged it in, it works fine. So I hacked it in like 10 minutes.
That's cool.
So now I have every Xbox game on on 2 CDs, I think it was.
Huh.
You should do Patreon shoutouts this week.
Yeah.
Since Derek usually does it.
I was just about to do that. We're about to go into the review for tonight, but before we do that, Derek usually does Patreon shoutouts, but I'm going to do them tonight. So I'm going to say, we welcome our newest patron. Oh, yeah. By the way, if you want to go over to Patreon, go to patreon.com/nerdcaveretro or just go to nerdcaveretro.com. We have a Patreon button there. It takes you right to it. $1 a month. That's all it is. We're tariff-free here at the Nerd Cave Retro Show. We're no inflation here. It's always going to be at least $1 a month to get everything that you need. And we want to give our shout-outs. That's what we do here. Our newest patron, Riley, Romaldo Marquez, Mr. Wally Phelps, Nick W., El the Zombie, Yep Fed, a.k.a. Knife, James, a.k.a. at Jimbo Jr. on our Discord, Raven, Danny House, Justin Nispel, Daniel Salmon, Mr. B-Rez Coffee himself, Mike Evelyn, Tyler Watson, Xblade07, Armez Jackson, Carlos Longoria, a.k.a. I Am the Rampage, Staff Sergeant Sketch, Gus and Penny, Matthew Salmon, and how do you say this? Violist.
People are not going to violinist. I don't know.
A violist, pianist, and overall enjoyer of music, Joey Potato. And of course, Donna Mama Diamond. And thank you to everyone that supports the show over on patreon.com. And like I said, if you want to be a part of the Patreon, right now is a good time to go do it, because we just dropped part 2 of our Nerd Cave Retro Quest the other night. Friday night we dropped it.
You know what I was going to ask? Who was on last month? Was it Rampage?
No, it was just me and Derek, the first one.
Okay. I thought the one I couldn't make, but I thought somebody replaced me the other night, and I was going to ask, what happened to their character Friday? They just disappeared.
No, it was just me and Derek, and then you dropped into the quest, which is part 2.
Yeah, with a chair.
Fester's quest, in parentheses, investigating the salami. And so if you want to know what that's all about, go check out the episode.
If you want to investigate our salamis, go to Patreon. You can get it like 3 or 4 weeks earlier, I believe.
Yeah, it's like a month before everybody else. Also, we've done a ton of commentary tracks, which some of my favorite things we've ever done was the Thunder in Paradise commentary track, which was, Joey, how do we describe Thunder in Paradise?
It was even funnier. I don't remember who had never seen it. Somebody had never seen it, but the rest of us hadn't seen it in like years. So it was just so much funnier, like rewatching it again with you guys.
And it's
for me, at least.
Cheesy. It's just 90s cheese ball. Like, just how did we accept awfulness like that?
Yeah, right? Wow, No Holds Barred is so good. And now I'm like, why did I think that?
Speaking of No Holds Barred, we did a commentary for that, too. So if you want any of those commentary tracks, head over to patreon.com/nerdcaveretro, and as little as $1 a month gets you access to all the stuff way before everybody else. So thank you so much for that. And I guess we're going to go ahead and get to the review now. And tonight, we're going to be talking about... WWF, not even WWE. This is pre-WWE. This is World Wrestling Federation Raw. It is a professional wrestling video game released for the SNES, the 32X, the Mega Drive / Genesis, and Game Boy in late 1994 and early 1995 by Acclaim Entertainment. It is a sequel to WWF Royal Rumble that was released in 1993, and the final part of LJN's 16-bit WWF trilogy. And that should tell you right there that the quality of this game because it has the LJN warning label right there on the front. So, Joey, did you get to play any of this over the weekend?
I did. I was going to ask real quick the logo that you had that you have in the thumbnail, the little like the circle at the bottom left with the yellow, red, orange, blue, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Is that not like the Famicom logo or the Super Famicom logo?
No, that's the LJN logo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, you're talking about the little circles? Yeah, I think it is the Super Famicom, but they did use it on some advertisements.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, was that on the U.S. box as well?
I think so, but I'm not 100% certain. And those.
I actually, you will do most of the review, but I took a few notes, not much.
Yeah, I didn't really write any notes this week. I usually write a ton of notes, but
yeah.
The thing about this game is
that's why I didn't, because you usually have a ton. I played it a little bit this past weekend, and I played a little bit before we started tonight.
And I don't want to bash it because I don't think it's terrible, but it is a product of its time. And the reason I didn't have too many things to say about it, because when it comes to the Super Nintendo, there are so many timeless SNES games out there. Like, you can go back and play Super Mario World now. It's still great. Super Metroid, Legend of Zelda. There are so many, like, Chrono Trigger. It's still one of the greatest, if not the greatest console ever made. You could argue. But there's a lot of games on there that aren't going to stand the test of time. And this is definitely one of those games. And I would say it's not good now.
No, God, no.
But it was probably at least a good weekend rental back in the 90s. Like, if
I can see that.
At least a 1 or 2 weekend rental. Like renting this with your friend. Your friend's coming over to stay for the weekend. You guys go and rent, WWF Raw for the Super Nintendo and just play each other, different characters and play all the Royal Rumble and all that stuff. And it would be a fun weekend eating pizza and drinking Mountain Dew. That's a fun weekend for like, a 13-year-old. But now playing it in 2025.
If you remove this game from it, that sounds like a fun weekend for me right now.
Yeah.
Eating pizza, drinking Mountain Dew, 2 days of video games with my buddies. That's like a dream.
But it's just kind of like going back and playing this game now. It's just a mess, man. Like, the controls are... I was hitting buttons, and I couldn't do any... And I put I put the difficulty meter all the way down to 1. And
to 1? I left it on 5. It's 5 by default. I just left it.
I still didn't win any matches. Like, I couldn't do anything.
Neither did I.
I was even looking at I looked up the manual online on how to play, and I still couldn't figure it out. It's a button mashing mess. Like, I don't know how to do anything in that game except run. And then I would just end up jumping out of the ring and then running back into the ring and knocking myself out. Like, that's what I did most of the time.
It's even worse on one of these things. I played it on a PS5 controller, and I don't know what buttons are what, and for some reason, everything I hit, like, I kept running, and I would just run. And if you run into the opponent, you drop, right? You run right into them, you drop. And I'm like, what's going on here?
And then the tug-of-war system it talks about here, when you lock up with the other wrestler, you're supposed to just press buttons, and it's got, like, this meter.
Literal button mashing.
I didn't know which way the meter was supposed to. I would be just pressing buttons like crazy, and just the meter.
And I can't tell what's going on.
And then it didn't matter which side of the meter it went into the green. I would always end up getting like suplexed. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And so
Could you imagine if this game came out. If a game came out today like this, if this game came out today. Even if they pushed it as like, oh, it's a retro whatever you call it, ride down memory lane. Look at the graphics are from 1994 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this comes out in 2025. You're like, who is playing this on purpose?
I mean, if it would be like the graphics aren't terrible, the music in it's not terrible, it's just the controls. Like if it was somewhat, if somebody could just take this core game and just put some decent controls on it, it would be a better game. But just playing it was awful. Like, I tried to play some of the other game modes. They do have singles matches, which are 1-on-1. You have tag team matches. I tried to do Royal Rumble, but once everybody got in the ring, it was just so manic. I couldn't even tell where my guy was.
One thing I noticed that I found interesting was that instead of a singles match, they call it a 1-on-1 pinfall match.
Yeah.
Like, so does that mean that I can't lose by countout or I can't lose by disqualification? Like, why is it only a pinfall match? And why am I able to get counted out if it's a pinfall match?
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be pinfall, but you're getting counted out when you go out of the ring. So what's... I
also thought it was funny that while you're scrolling through, there's only 5... Is there 5 or 8 guys you can choose from? I don't remember.
Let's see. Who was... you have Bam Bam Bigelow, Bret Hart, Diesel...
Owen Hart, yeah. Bam Bam, Bret, Owen, Diesel, Kevin Nash,
Doink
Luna,
the Clown,
Doink,
Lex Luger. Who was Luna Vachon? I don't remember.
Luna Vachon she's a legend.
I don't remember her. She must have been like during an era I wasn't watching.
She started in like maybe the early '80s, and she stopped like when she passed away like 10 years ago, maybe.
Really,
she was great. I loved her. I worked on shows with her. She was such a. Do you remember Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior?
No.
Gangrel was in the Attitude Era. He was the vampire dude. He drank the blood and then would spit it out.
Yeah. I saw him a few times, but I don't
that
remember
was Luna's husband.
Oh, okay.
I love that guy too.
And of course, you got Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and Yokozuna. So you've got
probably about 12, something like that.
Yeah, you got like 12 on the roster.
And what's interesting was Luna is the only woman in this game.
Yeah, and she's in there fighting all the guys.
Yeah, and in her in the little bio screen, it actually has her weight, but it says 135, but they don't announce women's weights on TV or whatever. So I found that interesting right away. But she was like on TV. She would always wrestle the guys and stuff anyway. So I guess that's why they did that. But there's a lot of people that are like, when WWE 2K25 came out, there was a ton of people that are like, for the first time ever in a WWE game, you could do intergender matches. And I'm like, that's not true.
Yeah.
I did it back in '94. I beat up Bam Bam with Luna.
But yeah, it felt the controls just like felt really stiff. Like and like it felt like the buttons didn't do anything. Like I was just pressing buttons and they weren't doing what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, I feel like there's not enough controls, not enough, I guess, controls to warrant even using a Super NES controller. It doesn't even need that many buttons.
Yeah, I didn't even use the other buttons. All I used was this was the controller I was using here. I have a Hyperkin that I use when I'm.
Oh, okay,
playing.
Yeah, I like those.
And I was just using the Y and the B button. That's it. Like I tried to use the X and the A buttons, but they weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
So
I also thought it was interesting that everyone's little bio picture had a height and weight, and then Kevin Nash for the height said like somewhere around 7 feet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just put his height there. Why does everyone else have an exact like 5'5" or 6'1", and he's got like somewhere around 7?
But I didn't know Raw was out this early in the 90s. I thought that was more of a late 90s thing.
94 it started.
Huh.
93 actually. It may have been. The first Raw may have been in 93. It's on Plex. Not in its entirety, but the first like 10 or 12 years of it are on there.
I'll have to look at some of those.
It did maybe late 93 it was.
Because that was about the time that I stopped watching wrestling for a while. Because when I stopped, it was still, Superstars of Wrestling every Saturday. And
Wrestling Challenge on
Saturday
Sundays.
night's main event. And then, you had Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. And then you had all the NWA stuff back then. You had Starrcade and all that. Yeah. But then I kind of got out of it around 92, 93. So I just don't remember when Ross, like when in the Attitude Era, like this is kind of the beginning of the Attitude Era right here.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a nice little snapshot of a time.
I did
in wrestling.
I did a tag team match. So you could do a tournament. First of all, I must have played 5 or 6 matches, like, I don't know, an hour and a half ago before we started. I didn't win one. I didn't even know how to pin a guy, so I didn't win anything. I just got the crap beaten out of me. But I did a tag team tournament match, right? So I did two. I did a regular tag match, and then I did tournament. So, and I don't know if the game is coded or programmed this way, but so both times I picked Bret Hart and Owen Hart as my team, and then the other one just happened to the opponents. I did like computer picks opponents, and the first time it picked Shawn Michaels and Diesel, which is weird because they were together in real life, and the second time it picked now I forget. I don't remember, but it was 2 other guys that were also a team. Oh, Owen Hart and Yokozuna. So I picked Bret Hart and Owen Hart, and it picked not Yokozuna, Yokozuna and Lex Luger, who had a storyline together. So I don't know if it's like programmed to like pick like guys or whatever that to mimic real life.
When I was doing my singles match, I kept trying to pick either the Undertaker or Razor Ramon, and it would always pick the 1, 2, 3 Kid as my opponent, and I don't remember him at all. And he whipped my ass every.
You know who he is, though, right?
I don't know.
Oh, X-Pac.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I don't remember the 1, 2, 3 Kid at all.
Yeah, that's X-Pac. But so I did a tag match. I lost. You know, it gives you the whole like you lose screen or whatever.
Yeah.
The victory screen for the other guys. But I did it when I did the tournament. I got pinned 1, 2, 3, and then right after the 3, there was no victory screen or anything. It just jumped right back to the loading screen with the big LJN logo. I'm like, what just happened? It doesn't even tell you like, you know, you're a loser. It just completely kicks you out of the game.
That's
like,
weird.
what did I do wrong, dude? It was so weird. But it only happened in the tournament version, so I don't know what the hell that was about.
I think there's just some bugs in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of unfinished. I think it would have been a more fun game to play now.
No patches back then. No
I think if somebody were to take this game and just kind of redo the coding to make the controls a little better, it would be a fun game to play. But
you know what's funny or not? I don't know. Funny, haha, or funny like what a coincidence is. Before, I don't know if we actually talked about doing this review tonight before what I'm going to mention or not. But when I said the other day that I was looking for a VHS tape of the stuff I used to record off my Super Nintendo, like I would plug my SNES into the VHS and then that into the TV, and I would record it on VHS tapes. This game and Super WrestleMania is all that's on the tape I'm looking for. It's 6 hours of this stuff.
See, it came down between reviewing either this or the WrestleMania arcade game on Super Nintendo.
Awful.
I played it for maybe 5 minutes. I was like, I can't even review this. It's so bad.
I guess I get what they were going for with like the Shawn Michaels Heartbreak Hotel falls on you or whatever.
Yeah.
But that game is horrible.
But it kind of looks like Mortal Kombat, where it's like it's the actual digitized wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh man, it does not hold up. I mean, the actual arcade game holds up. It's fun to play. Because I've actually run across a few arcade machines every once in a while.
I have it on mine.
But man, the Super Nintendo port is not any good at all.
That game is awful. And that's when like digitized graphics were a big, like remember Pit Fighter?
Yeah.
Like the fighters were digitized. I love that game.
The Batman
Forever.
Forever.
Fighters were digitized.
The Batman Forever game was digitized.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of a big thing at that time. And then it just died a quick death because it didn't last long.
One last interesting thing I want to throw out there about this game. I'm talking about Raw now, not the arcade game thing, but everyone's the same height. So it'll say in the height screen, like Kevin Nash somewhere around 7 feet, Shawn Michaels 6'1". Then you pick them for a team, or you pick them for a match, and they're exactly the same height. Yeah, it's so funny.
But like I said, there wasn't much for me to say about the game other than if you have a Super Nintendo and you're a wrestling fan and you want to just have, fill out your library, it's a fun game to pop in and play. Maybe you and a friend, one night just play for an hour or two. it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But is it something you're gonna play? Like, I want to play some Raw or the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
it's
no
not
one's ever
happening.
said that.
That's
It's
not
definitely
happening.
more fun. It's definitely more fun with a co-op though, as opposed
Yeah.
to playing against the computer.
So if that's your thing, I would say definitely grab yourself a copy. You could probably get a copy for pretty cheap these days.
Yeah, it's probably 99 cents at your local retro game store.
Probably,
if they even
you
have
know,
it.
and they probably made millions of these things. So I would say, you know, if you're a completionist, yeah, go grab a copy. But if you've never played it and you're not really a wrestling fan, you're not going to get anything out of this game. So,
No.
but as far as the reception goes, the Electronic Gaming Monthly at the time gave it a 5.75 out of 10. Famitsu gave it 19 out of 40. That's a weird scoring system.
Wow. Yeah, that is 1 to 40.
Yeah,
Whose idea is that?
Next Generation gave it a 3 out of 5. And they said that there are still many aspects of pro wrestling that none of the WWF games have yet to cover, so why not go after those? And I guess they're talking about like maybe storylines or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway,
I can't get over this 1 to 40 ranking
Yeah, that's
system.
weird.
What is that? And how do you get to 19? How does this game get to 9? That's almost half.
I guess it's a
terrible.
40 point, like each point
So
is
weird.
something.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
But for my score, I mean, I don't want to crap on it too hard because it's not terrible. It's just, it's a snapshot, and it's definitely a nostalgia kick, and it's a snapshot of a certain time in wrestling in the 90s. So that's why I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. So it's right there in the middle. It's not terrible. It's not good. It's just kind of there if you want to pad out your collection. So
Yeah,
that's
a good
what
way
I'll
to put
give
it. Especially if you want, like I do have wrestler friends that have that are obviously into gaming that want to have every WWE game or every WWF game.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. That would be like that, and like you said, if you're a completionist for like the full set of the full library of Super NES, that'd be the only reason. Like this is not something you're going to get and play very often.
Yeah, I mean, I could see me and you having a blast playing this.
Yeah,
like,
right.
on the couch, you know, like cheesing, each other, like getting
Mountain
somebody
Dew
in the
pizza.
corner and just kicking them until they die. You know, it's like that.
That's what we're gonna do when you come up here. We're gonna sit on my couch. We're gonna play this for hours, and we're gonna eat Mountain Dew and drink pizza.
Maybe
the other way around.
I'm for
drink
it.
Mountain Dew and eat pizza.
Let's stream it to Twitch when we do it.
That would be great.
We can invite everybody in the Discord to join with us and eat pizza and drink Mountain Dew, and
we could stream it directly to Discord.
We'll pretend it's 1994 all over again. Everybody.
Yeah, we'll pretend it's a good game.
Yeah, but what would you give it out of a 10? Being an actual retired wrestler, I mean, you lived the life, man. So what would you give it as far as a video game?
I want to say like a 4. Only because, and it's not even. I want to say a 5, but I feel like a 5 is still something I would go play a lot. Like, I think I'm good now. I played it for maybe a half hour before. I think I'm good now for a few more years.
Yeah,
it's been at least 10 years since I played this game.
Yeah, I played it for like 30, 35 minutes the other day, and I was like, after about 10 minutes, I was like, it was fun at first, but then after like 10 minutes,
now
I was
I
like,
can't even figure it out. So I would give it a solid 4.
Yeah, but you know,
only because it has people in the game that I know personally. So that's good enough. It's a good enough reason for me.
You know, rest in peace, Owen Hart, who died a horrible death.
And Yokozuna.
Yeah,
and
Yokozuna.
And my lord, how many people in this game are not? And Scott Hall.
Oh
and Luna
yeah,
Vachon.
Scott Hall,
Holy
man.
Christ!
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a snapshot is all it is. Go grab it. It's like 99 cents at your local retro store if you have a Super Nintendo. But that being said, Joey, thank you for filling in for Derek tonight.
Thank you, Derek, for letting me fill in for you, buddy.
And I know we're doing a top 5 next week, but I don't remember what we were doing. So I'll have to get with oh, here we go. No, wait, hold on. Let's see. I'll get with Derek and try to remember. Oh, no, here it is. Top 5 Star Wars games. That's what we're doing next week.
I like that.
Yeah, so get your list to us, everybody, on the Discord. Either send it to us in the Discord where it says top 5, or you can go on Facebook or Threads or even Blue Sky, and you can let us know there what your top 5 Star Wars games are.
So real quick, the lowest priced Super NES, Super Nintendo WWF Raw from 1994 on eBay is $7.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
No, that's not even worth it. It probably costs more than that to list it on eBay.
Yeah, you probably spend more shipping than it actually costs. And I'm pretty sure you can find this pretty easily. Like, this seems like the kind of game you can just go to the retro game store and buy one for real.
Yeah,
probably
there's a ton of them on
$5-6
eBay.
bucks. Yeah. And probably easily found it at flea markets and stuff, too. So I wouldn't worry about ordering it off. You'll run across it at a flea market or a thrift store or something.
Yeah.
But, Joey, tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs.
Just at Real Joey Image on whatever platform you use.
And that is good. Actually, and you know what, everybody? Go check out the Open Micers podcast. Tell you guys about that before we get out of here. OpenMicers.com.
I'm going to be on there, too.
Yeah, he's going to be on there coming up soon because Joey is an actual comedian now. He did some time on stage, so you're officially an open micer
I
now,
did some
sir.
time on stage. I wouldn't say I'm officially an open micer yet until I'm on your show.
You're still coming on the show though, so
I did 3 minutes on the stage. That's it.
But
that's
yeah,
all I
he's
needed
gonna
to
be
qualify.
on there. And last
you guys have really high standards, by the way.
yeah.
3 minutes, I did one joke, and I'm like, oh, and you're like, oh man, come on.
But we've had some really good interviews the last few weeks. And then we did, before that, we did 3 hostful episodes in a row where we actually got some people emailing us, telling us that they were laughing and almost driving off the road from laughing. So we've got some pretty good episodes. So go check it out, Open Micers Podcast, at Open Micers Podcast on Instagram and Threads. And I think that's going to do it for this week. And if you want to email us at nerdcaveretro@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voice message. Go to voicecast.app/NCR. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to do anything, but just leave a message and we'll get it and play it on the show. And if you can't remember that, just go to nerdcaveretro.com. There's a little button there to go leave us a voice message. That'll take you right there too. Nerdcaveretro.com is our link tree that takes you everywhere. It takes you to the socials, ways to give us money, the merch shop, which we have t-shirts, hats, magnets, bags, mugs, whatever your nerdy heart desires. And also, can't do that, can't give us money on the Patreon. I get it. Times are tough. We got tariffs to deal with now, all that stuff. Go leave us a review and or a 5-star rating on all the podcasting platforms you can. And with that being said, Joey, do you have an outro thing to say?
May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
Yeah.
Master Blaster runs Bartertown.
You blew it!
And that's an episode.
You blew it. There was one outro phrase I wrote in the chat once, and Derek read it. And he's like, I actually really like that, and I forgot what it was, and I wanted to say it next time I was on, and I don't remember what it was now. It was a while ago, at least 3-4 months ago.
But yeah, don't forget, you guys watching on YouTube right now, it's the top 5 Star Wars games next week. So that's going to be a tough list because I got a lot of Star Wars games that I like.
I have Knights of the Old Republic. I have Star Wars Galaxies. Star Wars Galaxies would be my number 1 because I made money on that game.
I never got to play that. Oh, dude, I almost bought Force Unleashed for the PS2 the other day. There's a flea market. Or not a flea market, but I guess it's a flea market, where kind of place where they have different booths where people are selling stuff.
It's like an indoor flea market?
Yeah,
almost?
like an indoor,
like an outlet stores?
Like a little bitty flea market type of place. But right there they had Max Payne 2 and Force Unleashed for PS2, and I was like, I really want to get these right now. But I don't need to be spending money. Huh?
Did you get either of them?
No, they're still there though. Every time I go, they're still sitting there.
I just had a conversation about this Saturday night at the wrestling show I did in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But in 2004, 2005, there was a company called WWC that I worked for in Pennsylvania. The shows were held at an indoor flea market. It was a gigantic building, and we had the ring and the shows in like the little courtyard. It was a big square building, like you picture a square with like a smaller square in the middle.
Yeah.
So we had the ring in the middle, which was the courtyard, and chairs set up. It fit about like 150, 200 people. But I would go hours early and just walk around that flea market and buy like games and posters and like CDs and stuff. It was so cool. We were there every other month. So every time I went there, there was new stuff because people were restocking old crap and other people were dropping off their garbage to be sold. But it was so cool, man.
Dude, I miss going to the flea markets and stuff and getting stuff for like 50 cents. And now you go there and they're like, hey, you want a Super Mario Brothers for $500? Like, no,
yeah, dude.
don't.
Like, I go to the Meadowlands flea market once in a while with my brother-in-law, and I always go to the Nintendo. There's one or two, three guys that have like old NES games, and they'll have like a Dreamcast for like $250. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm at a flea market. I'm not at Best Buy. Who is bringing $250 in cash to a flea market? Like, if I go there, I expect to spend $10 and get 900 pounds of beef or something like that.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna.
I was at a booth, and we're still streaming, by the way. I want to tell people this story. I was at one of the bigger flea markets here about a year or so ago, and the guy, I was looking at all the video games. I was looking at the Nintendo games and stuff. He's like, "You looking for games?" I said, "Yeah." Said, I got some rare games if you want to take in a shoebox if you want to take a look at them. I said, hell yeah, bring it out.
Yeah.
So he goes into this little tent there and he comes out with this shoebox, and in it he's got a copy of Panic Restaurant. And I was like, holy crap, dude.
How did he get that? How do you even get that?
He said he bought it at
it from the day when it was new?
He said he bought it in a lot from like one of the, I guess he goes and bids on like storage places. And he said he found all these games in there, and I was like, well, and I had the Panic Restaurant in my hand, and I was like, well, how much do you want for the Panic Restaurant? I was hoping he would say something like, $100 or something. I'd have been like, okay.
Yeah.
He straight up goes $2,500, and my hand started shaking. I was like, no. I handed it back to him.
Yeah, you hope he doesn't know what he has.
Yeah.
And then he says, $2,500.
I was like, I don't have it on me, buddy.
yeah, right? Again, I'm at a flea market. I don't have $2,500 in my pocket in cash.
Who goes to the flea market that has that kind of money just in their pocket?
Yeah, that's why I'm at a flea market. Yeah. I can't afford $2,500 for one thing.
But thank you all for watching on YouTube, and we love you guys, and we will see all of you next week.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Not yet. I got to play our little outro thing here so everybody knows to like and subscribe, everybody. Smash that like button and mash the subscribe button, and we will see you guys.
Hit the notification bell.
Yeah, hit that notification bell to let you know when we go live every Monday.